Hey, what's up, YouTube? This is Tony Harvin, and welcome to the Tony Harvin Network YouTube channel. If you like, hit that subscribe button listed right here. After you hit the subscribe button, if you want to receive all notifications of videos that come out on this YouTube channel, hit the notification bell and select all after you hit the notification bell. Hey, what's up, YouTube? This is Tony Harvin, and welcome to my YouTube channel, Tony Harvin Network. I greet everybody upon this evening as we're here talking about a story that happened recently of an 11-year-old boy who was found in the Hudson River out there in New York, across the river from where I'm originally from, Jersey City, New Jersey. My disclaimer is I'm not a pastor, preacher. I don't hold any type of office in the church. I'm not here to violate any type of community guidelines, any type of copyright infringement. I greet everybody who comes on here now, in the middle, and those who happen to catch the replay later on for sure. So, of course, this is a tragic, situation. When a family finds out that the 11-year-old nephew, son, friend, grandson, or whatever the case may be, has been found in the river, Hudson River, and they are deceased. According to the news article, as which we're going to show a little later on, there was no foul play at all. We're up to Nicole Martin. You state that all men seemingly they are dying younger and younger. The parents are burying the children and not the children burying their parents. That's a good point right there. There's a lot of young kids, out here that's dying off in tragic ways and whatnot. Whereas though they don't even get to live to see the age of 18 at all. What up? What up? What up? So we're gonna go to the story right quick. We're gonna share the screen. The boy name is what is it? Alfred Berry. Alfred Berry. So we're gonna share the screen right quick. So just bear with me. I hope everybody's doing well out there. All right, for sure. So we got the screen up right here. We got the screen up. So it states that body of missing 11-year-old Alpha Berry found in the Hudson River. Now it states that the police Harbor unit team retrieved a body around 7 a.m. In the water near 102nd Street and Riverside Drive out there in New York. Somebody stated that it's really heartbreaking, and the boy is very close to the family. And at this point, it's terrible, said his uncle. I don't know how to pronounce that name. It said the other held his composure as he told the news people the moment he got the call early Saturday morning and immediately went to the police precinct. So imagine the police knocking on your door, right? Imagine that. Imagine the police knocking on your door and you have kids and they tell you that your son or your daughter has been found deceased in any type of, manner such as that. You can imagine what that family is going through, especially if you have kids out there. What up to Terry? What up to Tyran? He says, greetings, losing a child is the worst for a parent. To think about it, absolutely. Absolutely, especially from a situation like that. So they state that he was very good, he was very good, curious, loving, charming, always give mommy a kiss before he left the house. They said the detective showed his uncle a picture of the body, and he confirmed it was him, his nephew. So the one on the left side is Alpha, and his friend, 13-year-old Garrett Warren, went missing also after school. So the two was missing. They said police say they were last seen together on a surveillance video near 145th Street in Lenox. They said on May 12th, Garrett was found dead in the Harlem River on Thursday. So the 13-year-old, the friend, was found dead in Harlem, in the Harlem River. It said police said his body showed no signs of trauma and foul play is not suspected. So two friends, 11 and 13 years of age, was found dead. One in the Harlem River, which was on 145th, and another on 102nd, which is about 43 blocks apart, to my knowledge, and being in that area of New York, Harlem, heading towards Manhattan, which is a very crazy situation to really think about, especially those who's from New York or those who've been around in the New York area. He says, but it takes a lot of precious people out there too. That's a bad imagination, bro. It's too heart touching to even try to imagine. Absolutely, absolutely. You understand? I can't. I don't even want to think about something like that. For sure. So that's why me personally, I'm a very overprotective child. I understand we not going to always be around our child all the time. They're in school, they're in recreational activities after school, before school programs and things like that. Sometimes they with their, grandparents or whatever, school field trips on a school bus. So as parents, we ain't gonna be there all the time, although we want to. You know what I mean? If I could be around my kids every day, all day, just on their neck, I would. You understand? Because there's a lot of things that can happen to kids, especially in these days. In these days, it seems like it's different. Kids can't go outside in these days and just have regular fun. They can't play in the sprinkler systems no more. They can't play innocent hide and seek. You can't play football. You can't play none of that. How it used to be, whereas though the neighbors from 10, 20 blocks away could know who that child is. Oh, that's such and such child. We're gonna keep a lookout on them. And these days it's not like that no more. You know what I mean? Terry Ann says, he says, I have friends that have lost a young, they are not the same. This one is tough. This one is a tough one for parents. Mm. Nicole Martin says, I'm a very overprotective parent as well. My son not going to none of those after school programs. Mm. What up, Fitzgerald? What up? What up? What up? Yeah, being overprotective. I think about it. If my child or children happen to go to after school program, maybe for some type of activity, sports, running track or whatever, basketball, of course I would want to be there. Of course, and it's tough to let your child go around that type of stuff because you don't know in these days the mind of people too much because it seems like a lot of people was out for mischief. Not saying that this happened in this situation because we don't know because they didn't put the details in it. They did say it was no signs of foul play or anything like that. But then again, you never know. It's just the whole situation of two young boys turning up dead. You know what I mean? In the rivers and whatnot. So we're gonna go more to the story. Let's just see. So the uncle says we are all going through the same thing. Two families losing their children, their young ones at the same time. It's really sad. Alpha was the youngest child of six, described as fun and helpful. Always helped his mama to do the laundry, do the dishes whenever mommy is cooking. He attended Democracy Prep Public School. The school made a statement in this news article and whatnot. So they also stated that we need clarity and closure right now. We found the body, but we want to know what was the cause. How how they get to the river? Were they pushed in there or what happened? We really need to know. Mm, that's a sad situation. So the family want answers, of course. What family doesn't want answers to a situation like this? For sure, you know. Fitzgerald says, yes, I miss the old days where things were more simpler. Absolutely. Absolutely. You know what I mean? You can walk 30, 40 blocks. And there's some neighbors that know your parents and know who you are. You understand? These days, these people ain't looking out for nobody at all. You know, these grown-ups, they trying to snatch kids up more so than before. Everybody, it seemed like everybody looked out for each other in such a way. But in these days, no, not at all. I can't send my daughters outside to play alone. I can't do that. I have to be right there watching like a hawk. You understand? I gotta be there. I gotta be there, or my oldest son gotta be there. You know what I'm saying? Or both of my oldest, or both of my two sons, they gotta be right there watching them. You understand? In these days, to make sure ain't no creeps, no clowns, no nothing. You understand? If something happened, then guess what? You gotta do what you gotta do. You know? But there's a lot of creeps out here for sure. A lot of creeps. A lot. Nicole Mont says, I've been overprotective since he was born. And if I have to, I'll work in every school he every school he attended to stay next to him. Fitzgerald said, that's right. Such a sad world we live in. Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, the one story I can remember, and I'm not too sure if people are fond of it, but the story, there was a movie called Paid in Full, right? I don't know if you heard about it. It was based on a true story. Based on a true story, but this was over drugs. You know, the person's family member, he was the uncle and he killed his nephew over drugs. This is the type of people we have more so in these days. Back then it was a little light, but in these days it's more. It's more enhanced. It's more out there that, you know, kids are getting targeted more, whether it's from the bullies, whether it's from these pedos, you know, whether it's peer pressure, whether it's parents, family members. You understand? So definitely got to keep a good look and a good watch out on kids. Nicole Martin says, there are definitely, let me see, let me check this out. You state they are definitely not looking after nobody. They'll see something happen right in their face and won't say anything to the police these days. Absolutely. Teran says, I remember when I was a kid that my dad will tell the neighbors that if I didn't listen or was a bully, to take me by the ears back home. That's funny right there. That's funny for sure. Nicole Martin says, you have daughters? That's the worst. Yep. I have 3 daughters at that. So you know I'm a hawk. I'm a hawk for sure. I'm definitely a hawk, especially for my daughters. You know, if they wanted to go outside, they want to go play soccer, kick the ball, you know, run in the park. I can't let them go alone. You understand? I cannot do that. You know, I remember the days when I could go to the park alone, 8 years old, 9 years old. I could go up the block. We go down the block. We go to Liberty State Park, Lincoln Park, walk there. You understand? Go to downtown park, any park in the area of Jersey City, Hoboken, Bayonne, New Jersey, sometimes even Newark, New Jersey. We can go as kids, ride the train, hop the trains, not paying the fare as a kid. Can't do that in these days, man. Can't do that. You know what I mean? All right. He says them girls are a lot. I'm glad I have a boy. Well, girls can be trying for sure. But you know, that's why it's good to have a strong father figure, you know, in their life. So they know better to be in check. You know what I mean? Shout out to all the single mothers out there with daughters, which is a sad thing. I would hope that the father figures are there, you know what I mean, to really serve as one of the attributes and one of the characteristics of being a father to your daughters and your sons, but more so your daughters, is to be a protector. You understand? To be their protector. All right. What up, Octavius? What up? What up? What up? Hope all is well. What up, Christoph Jones? Hope all is well with you. So, the little boy, once again, found in the Hudson River. We did a story the other day on my other YouTube channel when a girl, which is that's not far, that's not too far from each other, where they found the 30-year-old girl when they found her body in the woods in Jersey City. So the time frame apart is probably like maybe 30, 40 minutes. So those areas, the Hudson River, the Harlem River, are hot commodity areas, whereas though you might find a dead body there. You understand? He says, bless you, because them girls are no joke. Well, the girls are no joke to the mothers. See, the girls give the mothers a problem. You understand? The girls give the mothers a problem because they are a mirror image of how they were. Now the mothers will experience how they was once with their attitudes and whatnot. So with women, naturally, it's always seemed to be a clash, whether you're at work, whether you're in school, whether it's with your auntie, whoever. It's always seemed to be a little type of clash between females, some way, somehow. But at the end of the day, they better come back together and love one another as mother and daughter, or niece and aunt, and whatever the case may be. He says, my Lord, let's pray for our children. He says, how everyone day is going is absolutely great. Of course, I worked. Now I'm relaxing on this YouTube, Tony Harvin Network. Thank you for tuning in for sure. So we're just relaxing, talking about this story, on this channel, which is a sad situation. I'm pretty sure, as stated in the news article, that those parents are really, really going through it. I can't imagine it. Like someone said earlier in the chat room, the parents are burying the children more so in these days than vice versa. So it's like, man, had I thought about it, if I would have thought about this long ago, if I'd have had some sense. And kids are not a mistake. If you had children out of wedlock when you was young and ignorant, you might have some over-righteous church people to say, well, yeah, how some over-righteous church people can get. But as parents, coming up in this world now, you're like, wow, man, you gotta definitely be on your toes dealing with these type of people in these days. He said, I pray for a son and God grace me with one. I'm crazy about him. The girls definitely give mothers a problem. Nicole Martin stated, for sure. So having girls, of course, as a father, you think about, these you think about these boys and whatnot out here. Of course you do, as a father. Of course. You might have to lay hands on somebody one day. You might. You might. You just might. I don't care how much Holy Ghost you got. You've been baptized, right? You're going to have to go through that phase and that process of, little boys trying to chase your daughters down. I don't care who you are. It's going to happen. You understand? It's going to happen. Whether they're in school, whether they it's outside, you at Walmart, and there's a little boy over there looking at your daughter, thinking she's cute or whatever the case may be. You listen, you might get into something as a father, especially if you got a few daughters. You understand that? So definitely prepare for that. For sure. All right. Terry Ann says, I raised my girls and boy and thank the Lord they are good people. Never gave me problems at school. That's wonderful. That's wonderful for sure. And we hope and pray that things like that happen. I don't want no rebellious, disrespectful children. Although my kids never disrespected me, thankfully, for sure, because I definitely give them the business. That's one thing I don't like is a disrespectful child, even if it's not mine. When I see, it's no disrespect to different races out there and different cultures. When I'm in Walmart and I see a different race or a different culture and their child is acting up, yelling at the parent, screaming, hollering at the parent. You understand? And the other parent like, no, don't do that. Bad, Billy, bad. Don't do that. No, listen, if it was me, listen. I'm yoking you up with one hand and lifting you. You understand? A child act up in the store. Listen, I'm gonna yoke you up with one hand and pick you up with one hand. You understand? Discipline. Or you gonna get the business in that store. You know what I mean? Discipline. Ain't nowhere in the world where I'll allow a child to disrespect me in a store. I don't care how old my kids are. And I got a almost 16-year-old. You understand? You listen, you think he won't get a beat down? You think he won't? Oh, yes, he will. He'll get a beat down, like he's just a regular person on the street. Listen, none of that over here, So he never disrespected, and he better keep it that way. All of them, He says, how did the boy die? Who's responsible for this? Well, they didn't give those details. They found the boy, in the Hudson River, and they're trying to find out, they're trying to investigate it to see what happens. Of course, they check the cameras and fingerprints and whatnot and things like that. His friend died also. They found his friend's body in the Harlem River. It's kind of strange because how do you find a friend in the Harlem River on 145th and then you find a friend on 102nd? You know what I mean? If they was together. I'm not sure if the Harlem River leads to the Hudson River. I'm not sure about that. You said you have to be on top of them even if they don't like it. Absolutely. Nicole Mar says, to me, girls need more protection and they are more expensive. That's right. Me and my Holy Ghost will lay hands just in case God delay his coming. He says, picking your kids up with one hand. No wonder they don't give you no problem. Absolutely not. I mean, I would hope that don't happen. I'm a pretty nice, calm father. But when push come to shove, oh yeah. Oh yeah. You understand? Oh yeah. He says, I think those kids was murdered. You know what? That could be possible. That could be possible. Because it just don't sound right. One body on 145th, and then another body ends up on 102nd in New York. Because I believe the people who were murdered, those kids were prejudiced. What do you mean? What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that, Nicole Martin? You know what? Let's look at the Hudson River and the Harlem River. I want to see how they look upon each other. The Harlem River and the Hudson. I don't know if they're going to show it, but we'll see. Nah, I don't see no maps on it, or whatever the case may be, upon the two rivers. All right, let's see. So we're gonna go to the maps right now, man. I'm gonna show y'all right quick. I'm gonna show y'all right quick. I'm trying to get to it right now. So the Harlem River is a little further up from Manhattan. You know, if you can see that red mark right there, that red mark is the Harlem River, right? And in order to get to the Hudson River, you got to go through other blocks to get to it. You got to go across. So there's no way that the 11-year-old body could float from the Harlem River to the Hudson River. There's no way. So those who stating that they probably was murdered, that could be true. You know what I mean? That could be true. For sure. So then it says, is it possible that he may have fallen down or was wandering too close on the river and didn't know how to swim? Well, you got to understand the 13-year-old, he was found in the Harlem River, right? That's the red mark. And when you see the Hudson River, it's to the left of that. So it would be kind of confusing if one fell down, if they was last seen together. You know what I mean? One fell down in the Harlem River. I'm pretty sure the 11-year-old would have got help, right? So it's like, how did the 11-year-old go across town? You gotta go straight left all the way to the Hudson River. You know? So Rose, he says, hello, Brother Harvin. I pray all are well. It reminds me when my son, 4 years old, when we was in Germany, he wanted a toy. I explained to him, the lady going to keep, they're going to keep, you put OT until I get paid. He was just screaming. Well, any type of screaming in my presence, except if it's a little baby, when you have baby, you have your baby is the first couple of months, couple of years, a year or two or whatever, they crying loud, whatever. Okay, that's fine, that's understandable. But when a child gets 3-4 years of age, catching tantrums and stuff like that because they want something or whatever, oh no, no way at all. But of course, it's a sad story with this situation. The family want answers, and it's like, who can, if a murder happens, who can take a life of an 11-year-old and a 13-year-old? You understand? Who could do that and actually know the areas of New York? Like, I'm gonna take this body on Harlem River, then we're gonna go across town and take this body to the Hudson River. I don't get it. Rose stated that, and this German lady said, "You don't spank him." I said to the lady, "I'm going to answer to God the way I raised mine, and you're going to answer to God how you raise yours." Well, a lot of them cultures and different races and stuff like that, they don't believe in spanking a child. This is why a lot of them kids, they act out in front of them. This is why they disrespect their parents. Even in our culture, a lot of parents want to be their child's best friend, and that's it. They want to hang out with them. They want to go to the clubs with them. They want to make these TikTok videos twerking together. You understand? Father and son want to be out there with their pants sagging down, with jewelry on and whatnot. Oh no, listen. Me and my boys, we ain't hanging out. We ain't wearing no chains and nothing like that. The only time we hanging out, it's probably going to work out, Dave and Buster's. Maybe, well, they shop on Amazon or just in the house, chilling. Other than that, I ain't in no pictures with my sons. You know what I'm saying? Crip walking, woo walking, blood walking. We ain't doing no TikTok videos. You understand? We ain't doing no TikTok videos woo walking. We ain't doing that. We ain't doing no gang handshakes. Whatever they do, we ain't doing that together. You understand? Because it's a certain type of respect that your kids have to have towards you as a parent, not as a best friend or road dogs. No way, that ain't happening. And I know my 14-year-old boy, he listens to my YouTube channels, and I'm pretty sure he's probably laughing. He's probably goofing off right now, laughing if he's listening. He is laughing his behind on right now because he know. He know. You understand? You said the calm parents be the worst ones. That's funny. He said if the boy drowned, wouldn't someone look to help him get out the water, especially if the area is popular, and active? Well, Harlem. Well, 125th is like where the Apollo and stuff is. We watch the Apollo online. You would watch the Apollo on TV. Excuse me. That's where the Apollo is at, 125th and all that area, the shopping areas and whatnot. That's a populated area. That over there. But as far as like around the Harlem River and stuff like that, it's not a lot of people. You might have some people, jogging, running, walking their dog and whatnot. It's like on the sides. It's not in the core where there is a lot of people. It's on the core. 125th and Lenox and whatnot. And it was further up. One was found on 145th. That's further up from the populated area of 125th in Harlem. When I went to Harlem, the area was like it wasn't a lot of people, but when you go to 125th and Lenox, with shopping areas, that's where a lot of people is at. That's like the mecca of Harlem, 125th and Lenox. Excuse me. That's the mecca. It says the people who killed those kids were prejudiced, meaning they may not have liked people of color. Okay. Terrian says no TikTok, no Instagram, no Facebook, no Twitter, and soon no more, no YouTube. Absolutely. But you see mothers and daughters, they on TikTok, they on Facebook doing these little dances and whatnot. You know what I mean? They think it's cute, they think it's funny and all this other nonsense. You know what I mean? Shaking each other tail feathers. And the mothers approve of it. Where's the fathers at? Where's the fathers at in these daughters' lives? You understand? That's what's happening. And what have you. A lot of parents, in these days, they want a result to having friendships versus being a parent. You know what I mean? They don't mind a child coming in 11, 12 at night. They don't mind that. They don't mind a child coming in 12, 1 in the morning, making food and making a bunch of noise and whatnot on a work day. Are you crazy? Are you dumb? You know what I mean? You coming in my house whenever you like, exclude if you got school or work. You coming in my house 11 o'clock at night, strolling in here? That ain't happening. That ain't happening at all. I'm sorry. That's not happening. Fitzgerald says, okay, then in that case, they may have been murdered. I can't figure out the reason two boys would be out in areas like that where there aren't a lot of people around. Well, I don't know either. I'm pretty sure law enforcement is going to, check cameras and, ask questions to certain witnesses and whatnot and things like that. But as kids, we used to roam around and stuff like that to, areas like that when I was a kid, go to New York from Jersey City, take the PATH train to the 33rd around Madison Square Garden, Times Square. I used to do it. I used to go out there. I used to go out there by myself. You know what I mean? But I had a little job, so I would go shopping. You know what I'm saying? That's what I would do. I would go shopping. You know, when they used to sell the little clothes out there in the little spots. You know, if you're from the area of New York, New Jersey, you know, back in the day, the little Chinese people, they used to have these little hidden spots where they used to sell the clothes. They used to make the name brand clothes and stuff, and they used to sell it for cheap. They still got it in these days in Chinatown, but they had a bunch of them back then before law enforcement knocked them off. So here it is. I'm 13, 14 years old. Had a little money in my pocket. Go buy me a lot of clothes and whatnot. Go to New York by myself, but I knew better. Okay, we're going to go here, just go shopping, and leave. I knew to take the PATH train to 33rd, take 33rd back to Newport Mall, and take the bus home. Or go to Journal Square and take the Bergen Avenue home. I knew better. Not lurking around, going here, going there, getting into mischiefs or whatever. You know what I'm saying? All right. So that's what I used to do as a kid, going to New York at, young age, about the same age as these kids. But I was doing because I worked and I wanted to shop. You understand? My mother was taking me to like places when I was a kid, so I knew how to get to certain places. You know what I mean? I knew it from a kid, and I knew how to get back home all by myself. You understand? But in these days, can't do that no more, man. You can't do that no more. You know what I'm saying? Can't do it. He says, I hope there is video evidence. For sure. I hope too. Because I don't want to see or hear about like if two kids are murdered and then they have no leads, they have no closure. Sometimes a family, it doesn't help the situation, but you're like, oh, all right, there's some closure. We know why it happened, who did it, and why. Or if they happen to, one may have fell off a river or whatever. Whatever happened, now the family knows. For sure. We would hope that nothing like this happened to none of our family members or to our friends in general. You know what I'm saying? 11 and 13 years of age. And, you got these people on the internet. This is situation. This is real situations that's happening. I'm not here to focus on I'm not here more so to focus on nobody talking negative about me. When we got situations like this that's happening. We got situations like this that's happening for sure. We had one female. I read one of the comments. It's on my other YouTube channel. She spoke about I was using the female's name for some type of gain or whatever. This was somebody from my area, Jersey City, I believe, or who knew the chick. You could tell she didn't watch me. You understand? You know what I mean? Because my channel is about empowering the people and warning the people about situations like this. I don't need to gain no name off of nobody's name from my city and things like that. If a news reported a story of a woman that was killed, why you ain't emailing them? Why you got to email me? You understand? So people comment like that. Every time I do a story about somebody in my area, it's always somebody who's close to them, and it's not the first time that it's happened. They think I'm trying to gain recognition off their name. You just now coming to this channel? You just now coming to this channel. You know what I'm saying? Even with this story right here, you might have somebody in the comment section, well, you're trying to gain recognition off my nephew's name or my son's name. People do that. You want to come on this YouTube channel, but Go to CBS News and whatnot. Why you ain't telling them? We here to try to put people on notice about stories like this and whatnot. He said, I hope so too. Plus, I hope someone saw something and I would tell. He says, yep, the idea that they were just kids makes me so angry and sad. Well, the thing is, you got people out here that see crimes and see things that happen that they will not tell or cooperate with the police at all, because we living in a generation when they speak about this no snitching thing, or some people are just scared. They're scared. They're living in fear because if they see a crime, oh, I ain't see nothing. It doesn't matter what it is. They got this whole street code ethic, which is stupid. You understand? If you see two children being murdered and you're not going to say nothing just because of some type of street code, then you the fool. You're an idiot. You're an idiot at the end of the day. You know? I don't go by no street codes. I don't go by no street ethics or whatever they call it. I don't care who they are. If I see something, listen, if I see a child getting abused, most likely I will intervene. Forget sitting there calling the cops. Do something. Do something about it. You know, especially if somebody's, about to toss a kid off the river, out in the river and whatnot. You're going to sit there and take your time to call 911 where you could have been trying to intervene and save the child's life and what have you. He says, amen. Appreciate that for sure. You know, and this is not the first situation. A lot of kids have been murdered. You know, whether it's drowning, getting shot, fires, parents abusing them. I saw one video, the father was sentenced or something like that. The judge was sentencing this man. I believe he got life in prison because he was giving a child cold baths or something like that and whipping them. Like ice cold baths or something like that and killed the boy or something like that. Here it is, a grown man torturing a child. If you can't handle being a parent, why become one? You understand? Don't lay in the goodies, right? We're going to keep it real on here. Don't lay in the goodies that's going to produce a baby and you can't handle the pressures and the responsibilities of being a father. Don't do it. Yeah, it's all sweet when you pillow talking. Yeah, baby, you know what I'm saying? I love you and all that. I can't wait to have this kid. You pillow talking. It's sweet when you're in the bed, y'all comfy after the fact. 9 months later, now you got babies crying throughout the night. You got to buy Pampers, milk expensive, formula and all that. Daycare is expensive. Now the pressures of being a parent is dawning on you. Now you're angry because a child is crying and getting on your nerves. You got to stay calm. Embrace a child crying. Embrace that you got to buy milk and Pampers. I love that. Even when I was broke, I still loved it. Buying expensive Pampers and formulas and all that. Man, I'm going to think about this one day. I'm going to appreciate this. There's something appreciative. Little can of formula, $30, $40. And the baby will finish that quick. Pampers, wipes, baby food, toys. You understand? Embrace that. Don't be under the pressures of responsibilities as a parent, getting angry, getting upset. So the guy he killed the child. You know what I'm saying? So it was one kid also. I think he was a babysitter or something like that. He killed the kid. There's a lot of them. Check it out. You could Google it all over YouTube. They can't handle the pressures of a kid at all. Like I said, listen, you sweet talking, come on. I don't care if you in church. You had these times before. When you was boo loving in that bed, you understand? You was boo loving, you had your candles on, you got your Jodeci playing, Forever My Lady. You know what I mean? You got your necks, you got your Jaheim, you can have anything playing. Come on, man. Come on, come on now. We know. You understand? You're getting it in. You're getting it in. Now you had this baby. Now it's an issue now. No way. You got it. Hey, you laid down with her, or you laid down with him. Now y'all got kids, or kid, excuse me. Or if you're with somebody who got a kid, you know what I mean, and you don't have kids, you got to love that child. You know what I'm saying? As if it's your own. You know what I'm saying? He says, "What up? What up, man? What up, Naomi Hope?" Ah, man, you funny. You says, but my question is, why would the parents of those kids let them work freely by themselves, unattended, knowing it's risky and dangerous? Well, a lot of times it's grandma raising the kids. A lot of times the parents are working. A lot of times, especially in the New York, New Jersey area, parents don't care. I think there was I think it was after school or something like that, to my knowledge. You know, Fitzgerald says exactly. If someone did see what happened, they have to speak up. Otherwise, there's blood on their hands too. Rose says, I'm from Florida Keys. I was 10 years of age. I used to go fishing at 3 a.m. in the morning. No one didn't bother me. That was then. But even adult, I wouldn't go fishing early in these days. Wow. Wow. Uh, okay. Talking about going fishing. What up, Craig Giselle? What up? What up? What up? Nicole Moore says, this is teaching me how to pray. For real, may God bless and cover everyone in his chat. And Brother Tony and his family in Jesus Christ's name. Appreciate that. He says, I only date. He said, I only date widows. He said, I came in at the wrong time. Ah, man. We covered a lot in this story and whatnot. Basically talking about, how some parents can't handle responsibility, as a parent. It's all fine and dandy when they pillow talking after, getting it in. Then 9 months later, you know what I'm saying? A baby happens. And then, some parents just can't handle the pressures of a child. They can't. It's too much for them, and a lot of them get frustrated. Some mothers have dumped their babies in a dumpster. Some mothers have killed their child when it came out the womb. They would have the baby with nobody around. I don't know how they did it, and kill the baby. You understand? He says some parents really can mess kids up by not being parents. Absolutely. Absolutely. Fitzgerald said that's why some of these people choose the plan B. They don't want to take care of the kids, but they choose to have intercourse in the first place. Makes no sense. I agree. They take the shot, plan B, and all this other stuff. But guess what? If it's meant for them to have a baby, they would have it. But you're right. A lot of them take all those medications and pills and whatnot that can mess their body up from having kids later on down the road. You know what I'm saying? And then when they're ready to have a kid, set to get married, if they're doing it the right way, now their bodies can't produce a baby because they done took the Plan Bs and they done took all this birth control that messed their birth canal all up or what have you. And things like that, man. He says, what about Plan C? I don't even know what that is. What is a Plan C? What is that? I don't know what that is. What's Plan C? Let me know. All right, we about to conclude this live, man. So if anybody got any closing remarks upon this story or in general, let us know in the chat room so we can close it out and probably go to the other YouTube channel for sure. But in general, I thank everybody for coming on this live for sure. The secondary YouTube channel. Do remember, my third YouTube channel is Tony Harvin TV, broadcasting nothing but the True God videos for sure. We are broadcasting the True God videos on Facebook also. 2 main groups is Holiness, Truth, and God and Scriptures. The one with over 30,000 followers. The other one is Our Father Which Art in Heaven group. We also broadcasting Truth of God. Over 29,000 subscribers or followers, whatever the case may be. You know what I mean? So we working. Every day we working. For sure. God bless you too. And Craig Giselle. All right. Hope everybody have a wonderful evening for sure. I'm Tony Harvin. I'm signing off from this YouTube channel. Lord willing, I'll check out again in a bit on the other YouTube channel. God bless. I'm out. Hey, what's up, YouTube? This is Tony Harvin, and welcome to the Tony Harvin Network YouTube channel. If you like, hit that subscribe button listed right here. After you hit the subscribe button, if you want to receive all notifications of videos that come out on this YouTube channel, hit the notification bell and select all after you hit the notification bell.